Alright, I have proper audio now, and I'm back to do another Linux tutorial with you guys. We have a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it, shall we? Like I said before, Debian and Linux in general is extremely versatile. Today we're going to install some software packages to get this machine ready to run as a replacement for Windows 10 if you're still using an older machine and want to continue using it, or as a replacement for 11. First, we're installing updates. Sudo apt get update. You can do this through the GUI, but I prefer the command line, but that's just my personal preference. Alright, we let her do her thing and install some updates. Okay, I already updated the system. Just ignore what that says. Did it through the command line, which is, again, my personal preference. Now, with any system, you want a good web browser. We're going to grab one that I recommend, which is Chromium. Chromium, unlike Chrome, is a de-Googlified Chrome browser. It's basically the basis that Chrome was evolved from. Knock in our secret password. Well, that's doing its thing. We'll go back here and we'll grab the next program on our list. Like any good computer, you will want a good media player. We already have VLC installed. I'm gonna grab one that I like. And we're gonna grab good photo app too. Hope if I could spell. Wow. Virtual machine being a fool. Cool, we already got that, so we don't got to worry about that. Another good program is called GThumb, which I actually recommend too. For email programs, we have quite a lot of choice. We have Thunderbird. Help if it was typing in. Which is already installed. And I recommend grabbing this extension too. That way there, if you get a new email, you'll see a little notification pop up down here. Another alternative to Thunderbird is a program called IceDove. And it looks like it was discontinued. That's fine. Another alternative for that too is Evolution Mail, which I already have on here also. Actually, I might dump that. I don't need two. Like I was saying, Linux is very, very versatile. come a long way since the days of yore. Now, for audio players, you can use VLC, but I recommend this one. It's called Clementine. If this graces us with it showing up, I'll resume the video once it has shown up. Clementine is a very no-frills audio player. You can use it to easily create music playlists, if that's your thing. I know with me, I like doing that, especially if I'm working and don't want to be constantly opening up files. Now, for media encoding projects, I recommend Handbrake. You can also use it to rip DVDs, but you did not hear that from me. And if you're into burning CDs still, I recommend this utility. User interface is pretty much identical to narrow burning ROM. Now, let's see if they have Java on here. Nope. But Java we can get from the Java website very easily. But like I was saying, Linux has come quite a long way, even from 10 years ago. The Linux of today is a completely different animal. As you can tell, you get very versatile flavors of package managers. We'll grab this one. Look at that, they're kind enough to give us instructions on how to do it. Isn't that kind of them? Moving you through on how to do it. Oh yeah. But the Linux of 2025 is a completely different animal from the Linux of the early 2000s. Very versatile, very powerful. It's going to become a question that I'm going to receive. But how do we install Java? Alright, let's do it. We always check for updates when we use the command line. Because usually a component we install, if it's from the repository or anywhere, will probably have an update. Good, no updates. That's awesome. We clear the screen. Now, sudo apt get install default jdk. You can do this the GUI method. It's just a little bit more long and convoluted. However, the command line method is quicker and more cleanly, I find. Okay, this should be done in a second. Clear the screen. See what version we got on here. Excellent. That's what we want to see right there. A whole bunch of things. But we're not here to browse about the package manager in detail. We're here to get a machine set up as an alternative to Windows. What we're looking for now is the GNU Image Manipulation Program. Yes, some people would giggle at the name GIMP, but they have the maturity level of somebody who is 6. And that's already on there. Excellent. Now, we're going to customize how our machine looks a little bit with some themes. As you can tell, I have winter, bloom, and a few other themes already on here. But you can easily add or remove them too. And it's very easy to install the themes. You just click it and boom. Boom. And like I said before, Linux is extremely versatile. I love this thing. It's obviously becoming one of my favorite operating systems and family of. You can customize it however you want it to look. I'm just showing you some of the themes that are in here. Let's set this to that and boom. Oh yeah. Now, if you're looking into installing custom themes for Linux like I did here, for the icons, I recommend going to a site like pling.com right here, where this is a site that's been featured numerous times in OMG Ubuntu magazine. Same as the Boomerang project too has been featured by them. What you want to do is look up groups and teams that are associated with Linux and Unix before you install or do any customization outside of what is in the repository. Those are your best and safest bets. So you do not get something that might have malware or something malicious baked into it like a keylogger. But that being said, we'll go into here. We'll go to our downloads page. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to select your files. And yes, some people are going to say you don't need to do this for Linux, but you should get in the habit of doing this. Just because it doesn't infect your system doesn't mean it won't infect someone else's system if you collaborate with them. I already pre-scanned these and found no threats in them. We extract them all here, like so. That one's already done. I'm going to show you how to install these icon files. It's very simplistic, almost idiot proof, if I may say so. There we go. Grab these. Now, what we're going to do in a second, wait for this to finish. You're going to select the files that we have extracted, hit Control C. Now you go into your home folder, you click Show Hidden Files. You do this very cautiously. You don't want to start mucking around with too many things. Now, where we don't see an icon folder, we create one. We open it, and we paste in our copied files. We go back, we grab these. There's our icons. We paste them in. We go back. We grab it, these. Actually, we're not going to grab that one. Or this one. That's fine. I don't want to make this too complicated for anybody watching this. There. Those should be good enough for what we need. Now, we do a little housekeeping. And yes, I grabbed the latest version of Steam for this. The version that's in the repository is still usable, but it's kind of getting a little long in the tooth. Now, we can open up our system settings like I just did, right here. We click on themes. Now we go to our icons, and we see the icons that we just extracted. And boom. Now we go back to our home, and we unselect that. That is how you customize Linux, but you want to do it very cautiously, very carefully. There's a large amount of malicious people out there that create files designed to do one thing: either steal your data or create havoc, or both. But there you go. That is how you set up your Linux system. Just fixing the calendar to my preference there. Now, with Linux, yes and no, you can install a antivirus system. And yes and no, you need one. It all comes down to what you're going to be using it for, is the answer I'm going to give you. If you're going to be going into coffee shops or doing anything with FTP or collaborating with people with Windows machines, then you need an antivirus system. Or if you're building a server, then yes, you do need antivirus. But lucky for you, there is an antivirus system just for Linux. Sudo apt-get install ClamAV. Once we get this installed, we will install the GUI for it, or the graphical user interface. You can do this through the software store, but again, this is one of the things that I prefer using command line for. And I will show you what clam looks like. This. Okay, let's check to make sure we're good. Excellent. These are the settings that I usually go for with it. It's better to be safer than sorry, especially if you're using FTP software or collaborating with other people. You might be vigilant about security, but the other guy can be wanting. It's better to be safe than sorry. Not that a Windows virus would do much on a Linux system. It's more the case of you accidentally uploading or having people pull a file from your system if you're collaborating with shared folders and getting a Windows virus on their system. But boom. You can set it to scan any directory, including your home directory. It's a nice, versatile little antivirus program. We will resume the video once this is done. It's a little scan through. Actually, it might not take that long. Look at that, it's motoring right along. I thought it was going to be like the netbook that I installed this on, that I set up for a little file server for myself. Look at that, it's just zipping right along. Oh yeah, it definitely doesn't have any lead in its boots. Oop! And we found a possible threat. We'll take a look at it and see what it is. Okay, we have an exploit. Goodbye. That should show you right there why you should have an antivirus system. If an exploit like that popped up that quick in the Mozilla cache, imagine what type of havoc this could easily wreak if you're blithely surfing along and some of these exploits or whatever got into your shared folder. You might not experience it on the Linux machine, but the guy using Windows probably would experience it, depending on the severity and if Microsoft has been vigilant in releasing security patches, and we all know how good Microsoft is about that. They leave a lot to be lacking. Another question I'm going to be asked is, how do we set the firewalls? I'm going to give you a quick, brief rundown on how we do this with the uncomplicated firewall. First, we make sure that our firewall is up. Sudo ufw status verbose. Okay, our firewall is up. Now, we create some rules for it. The UFW is very easy to program. Like I'm doing right here, it is very easy to set up. change those ports in a while to something else. But I'm just doing this to show you on how to set the UFW up and to configure it quick and dirty without making things too complicated. Now we're going to change how our logging with the UFW looks. We're going to change that low level of logging to high. Help if I actually clicked into the virtual machine. Just like that. No fuss, no muss. And there you go. Very simple, very straightforward, and easy to use. Hopefully you find this video educational and helpful. Feel free to drop by my Ko-Fi and donate to me, or even my Patreon that I'm going to soon be creating and setting up. Until next time.